Anthony Price. I'm an entrepreneur from the United States. I met Jay at another event in one of the communities that he participates in and creates, and we just immediately hit it off. Knew it was going to be, knew that Jay was a like-minded individual that I wanted to be around, wanted to learn from, and we had conversations about what he did and the events that he put on, and it both kind of sparked in our minds that I'd be a good fit for it. And so and we hopped on a call to discuss the going to the event. I knew that it was something that I was a little skeptical about. Never really considered it as something I wanted to do or needed to do, because I really didn't know about it. But I just knew Jay was a person that I could trust. Knew Jay was someone that I wanted to be around, and so decided that I'd trust him again and go for it to the event. How was the experience with the staff and the facilitators? Amazing. Friends, mentors, such awesome people that are consistently checking in and making sure you're doing good, looking out for your needs, having fun. When things, not everything's going to go as perfectly expected or planned, but when those little bumps in the road come up, it's all good. It makes the event even better, actually, because it's amazing, what we can do with the moment when you're just living in it and having fun. So the facilitators, the people there that we met, were amazing. Preparation for the retreat was one of the best parts about it in terms of the result that you get out of the event, because it asks of yourself to be better, to be reflecting and thinking about what you want to get out of it, how you think about your life, how you think about how you want your life to be, and then we come to the event and it's a catalyst for change. And so that 6 weeks of preparation was amazing and exactly what we needed in order to make the changes and really get the most out of the event. It was fantastic. The living spaces and the quarters were great. I really enjoyed staying with new people, new friends. The quarters were clean, everything we needed. Was never hungry, was never uncomfortable. It's out here in nature, as you can see all around me. Such an awesome opportunity to just, get some quiet time to reflect or laugh with your friends, or just chill out and enjoy the beautiful views. It was fantastic. Felt completely safe, no matter what we were doing, even when it was some time when we're out of our comfort zone, or you might have been doing something where you're a little nervous because you weren't sure how you were gonna react internally. There was no circumstances, no environment that we were in that made it uncomfortable or unsafe. Not unsafe at all. The biggest takeaway from the retreat was simply presence and being there in the moment. And I took away plenty for my business that I own, for my family that I want to be a better family member, for my friends to be a better friend, and just overall human being. But the biggest takeaway, which is going to just double the lessons I learned in each of those specific spots, is presence. Is just being there, being present to the moment. That is the truth. That is how you can live your truth, is just by being in the moment. I mean, there was some times where it was like, all right, I'm not sure what's going to happen here, and this is going to be tough. It's going to be a hard thing that we have to do, but there was never a moment where it was like, something actually bad is going to happen. It's just going to be maybe an uncomfortable truth that you need to know about yourself, or you're going to be putting yourself in a physically challenging space, but that you can get through it. That it's all in your mind. And so it was just overall such an amazing experience, even the parts that were tough. Food was fantastic. I mean, I don't think I've ever ate healthier for such a long time. I see the benefit of eating vegetarian. I'm a big meat eater, huge meat eater, but I saw really significant benefit to having a couple days and some time in preparation of cutting down the meat for more of a spiritual experience, to be more light, to have more light within you. But we also ate plenty of meat The food was well prepared. There was more than enough of it. I love the food. Honestly, that was one of the best parts. Transportation was easy. You know, it's a ways away from the airport, but it brings you right out into nature. Beautiful views. You know, it's not like there was a crazy amount of transportation, and it certainly wasn't inconvenient. You know, the mentors that we were able to meet, the people that were facilitating the ceremony, I didn't expect the facilitators of the ceremony to be such in-depth spiritual mentors. I didn't expect to have so many deep spiritual lessons and stories that they would share and that we could learn from. It was such an awesome opportunity to see these people in their element that have been training and learning for their entire lives, for decades, to give us these lessons. That also was one of my favorite parts, is being able to learn and just experience the lessons and the types of people that they were. That was probably the most unexpected thing, because I expected such an amazing bond between friends and the people that were going to be at the event. I expected myself to get, you know, great lessons that I could take from it, but I didn't realize the other individuals that would be guiding us through this event to be so amazing. The Aya was awesome. You know, I've heard stories that some people could get pretty uncomfortable with it, or that they, you know, would have maybe a bad reaction, or, you know, like psychedelics were you know, they're not about it. I had an amazing time. The first night, it was, you know, information downloads and interesting thoughts, and it's not always going to be, you know, the most, you know, ecstatic, happy thought in the world, but I knew the entire time it was stuff that I needed to hear and stuff that I needed to think about. And then the second ceremony was just pure love, and you know, I look over to the people next to me, and it was just a perfect moment with the perfect people, and you know, I couldn't have had a better, you know, more purposeful time. The Aya ceremonies, I'll always have such amazing thoughts about the experience, and I'll never get the music and the conversations and just the overall environment that we in, with the beauty and the lightning and the weather. I couldn't say enough good words. It's like impossible to describe how awesome of an experience it is. And I really went in thinking it would be just a one-time thing, but it's become a thing where I want to be a part of the community. It's become a thing where I want to go deeper into it, to learn more about myself, because I know it's a tool that can be used to become better. Sweat Lodge was great. You know, certainly at the beginning, when you get the first, you know, big dose of sweat, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through. But, you know, you just kind of grit and bear it, and it actually does get a little bit easier. And there's times where it's tough and you want to get out, but you know that you're able to make it. You know that the lessons you're learning and the confidence that you're building while you stay in is something that's going to last a lot longer than the time you spend in the Sweat Lodge. So it's something that I would do again, and I wouldn't be, you know, too scared or nervous going into it, knowing that it's going to be pretty uncomfortable, because the feeling you get during and the feeling you get after is so much better than the discomfort you feel in the middle of it. I really enjoy, you know, participating in communities. I really enjoy connecting with like-minded people, and Jay specifically is it seems like a master at building these communities of you know, putting like-minded people around each other that are completely open, completely accepting, and just there to have a good time and be silly, but also be serious about the growth that we want and the lessons that we want to take away, and you know, how can we get better, how can we do hard things, and keeping ourselves accountable, having the hard conversations about, you know, what we actually need to do in our lives to get better, but also, you know, when a fun moment comes up, we can stop and we can have that fun moment, and we're never going to miss out on an opportunity to laugh and have a good time. You know, the bonds that I've created from, you know, other successful entrepreneurs that I want to do business with, to simply friends that I want to hang out with and share more experiences with. I mean, it's just such a perfect community for someone like myself, who loves to have fun, who wants to get better, who's, you know, growing a business and wants to be around like-minded people for the long term. For someone in that category, for someone like myself, perfect community that Jay's put together. Leaving the retreat, I'll be spending a lot more time just being conscious. Whatever it is that I'm doing, if it's on my phone scrolling, I'll be more aware of what I'm doing, I'll be more aware of why I'm doing it in literally everything. It really showed me the benefit of being mindful, right? So priming my day with presence, whether it's meditation or just doing something that gets you into the moment so that you can be conscious in all the activities that you do. That's the biggest takeaway that I got from this right here. So, I want to do more stretching, I want to do more meditation, I want to do more of these, morning and night routines. Those are super important, but, all of that just is to put me into the moment and to be present in absolutely everything that I do. So that's by far the biggest takeaway. At a much needed time in my life, I received a significant amount of clarity, which gives me more motivation, or a better word would be more purpose, and more understanding of why I'm doing what I'm doing, how I need to do what I want to do to achieve my dream life, to accomplish my goals. And it just made me more excited to go and do my daily activities, my daily responsibilities. It's just going to make that all more beautiful, more purposeful, and achieve or accomplish better results in life. My biggest objection, I wasn't sure if I could take a week off. Wasn't sure if, as a business owner whose business is almost purely reliant on myself, whether taking a week off would be a good idea for me. It felt like it wasn't, just because I have so much momentum in business. But at the same time, there was a piece of me that was stagnant, that felt like it was unsustainable to be just 24/7 stuck to the grind and to my work. And so, I trusted Jay, and I trusted the people that had gone into the ceremonies and the events before. And I'm so glad that I did, because, slowing down to become smooth, to become clear, really speeds you up. And so I know when we get back to work, when I get back to my everyday living, this is something that's going to stick with me for a very, very long time, and it's going to help me develop the tools and the skills necessary to make more money in business, to get more fulfillment out of business, which will ultimately make my life so much better. So absolutely, I'm going to make more money. I'm going to, do it with more purpose in my life, thanks to the event that we went to this week. If someone felt called to do the retreat, but they felt hesitant, I'd say that's how everybody feels before they do something like this, before they do anything that's uncertain. It's like, is this something where we just, take psychedelics, or is this something where, we are just goofing around, or, it's uncertain exactly what activities and what events we're going to do. It's uncertain, who you're going to ultimately meet and spend time with, or what you're going to eat, or there's just so many unknown variables. But there's no better person to trust putting this on than Jay. It was better than expected by far. It was planned out, to a point where, we realized there's so much more depth than can even be explained on a couple Zoom calls, explaining, hey, we're going to go to the jungle, we're going to do these ceremonies, it's going to be a spiritual experience, we're going to, spend some time out in nature and connect. It's so much deeper than that surface explanation when you go out and actually do it. And everybody that feels called to do it, but they're not sure about their ability to make the time, you probably need to make the time, right? If you're unsure, but you feel like potentially doing ayahuasca, or just going out in the nature is your thing necessarily, just make an open heart and realize that that's not what it's about. It's about connecting with nature. It's about learning more about yourself. It's personal development. But at the same time, it's if that's not what you're looking for, what you're looking for will become more clear. It will be revealed to you by going to an event like this. So nobody as part of our group had a negative experience. Nobody as part of our group didn't take away something seriously positive. And I think most people, like myself, just didn't have any expectations, and we were just blown away by the benefits, by the results, by the experience that we had. And we really all want to continue to participate in this community and come back to events like this.